Hey, it's Tim, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk. Got some really interesting news for you this morning. General Motors has announced that it's going to start building certain Silverado and Sierra pickups through the end of 2021 without some of their fuel management modules. The reason for that is there's a global semiconductor shortage, which we'll get to that in a little bit, why that is. But what they're talking about is they're going to keep building Silverado and Sierras as GM needs to. It's a truck war going on right now. Everybody's trying to build more and more trucks. But what they're not going to put in these trucks are their fuel management modules. Now, these fuel management modules either control the active fuel management, where it turns from 8 cylinders to 4, or dynamic fuel management, which has like a combination of like 32 different ways or something like that, where it can deactivate certain cylinders based on your driving needs. The dynamic fuel management came out in 2019 on most consumer-grade trucks. Commercial-grade trucks, like a work truck or a custom trail boss, that kind of stuff, have the active fuel management until 2022. They're making a change in that, but I'll link that video above. There's some changes happening for the engines. So what they're going to do is, since those modules use a semiconductor to do the software process, so the engine and the computer notice that it doesn't need much engine power, the computer does, and it tells the software, hey, let's turn off a few of the cylinders. The module controls the lifters and how it shuts off the cylinders inside of the engine. I'm not going to go to details, more complex. There's links above to details on that. But that's what's happening right now. You can expect about 1 mile per gallon loss overall on these trucks. Looking at the 5.3 liter with the 8-speed transmission and the 5.3 liter with a 6-speed transmission will both lose active fuel management. So that 6-speed 5.3 is a commercial truck, and dynamic fuel management, and that is a consumer truck. What I think is interesting about this, and reading the article on gm-trucks.com and also Reuters, is that there's no discussion about adding these back in after the trucks are built. I'm sure it's just a module they can put back in, but that module requires semiconductors, and this is an easy way to get around the semiconductor shortage and still build trucks. Now, there's a lot of people who are like, oh my gosh, awesome, right? There's two sides to this. Some people have not liked the active fuel management system because they have bad results with it. There's been overrides. There's little things you can plug in to get rid of that. Dynamic fuel management seems like it's been better. Haven't heard those same kind of complaints. So there's one side that says yes. Another side says, man, I'm going to buy a truck now with less fuel economy, and I'm probably not going to get any money off. It's not going to cut the price at all, right? And I'm going to have to drive this for a while until they have more semiconductors that I may get in the truck later. Well, that's not really fair. Why would I buy a truck right now and not have fuel economy and in the summer if I bought a truck in the summer? There's another side of this that says, now we're using less gas, losing more gas, we're doing more emissions, we're not protecting the environment. It's 1 mile per gallon, folks. It's not the end of the world. But that's what's going on with that. So if you're looking at a GM truck right now today, and you think about buying one, you definitely want to check into what's on dealer lots right now and do some considerations on whether you like active fuel management or dynamic fuel management, either one, and whether you want to have that in your truck or not. Because if you don't, and there's a subset of buyers who don't like it, you just wait. You can finally buy that 5.3 without all that garbage, as people say, with that module in it, or you can buy it now and get the 1 mile per gallon better through the life of the vehicle. So that's what's going on. And on the semiconductor issue, during COVID, I guess we're still kind of in COVID, but when COVID first hit in March and April last year, the automakers cut production. Some of the plants closed. And some of the plants in Taiwan and in China closed production for these microchips, or semiconductor microchips. And so when they weren't producing them, it created a shortage. And then when they started coming back online, the supply of these chips started going towards cell phones, computers, Xboxes, things people were having around their house, things that they were needing. And the output going to automakers was cut sharply. And then automakers started booming through COVID, which caught people on surprise, me included. And so now you have a shortage of semiconductors in the industry, really impacting all automakers. This is really interesting news too. If you're thinking about this, Ford announced the 5.0-liter V8 has the shutoff, the cylinder deactivation technology. Ram has it as well in their Hemi, has a cylinder activation, so the fuel control module. in both of those trucks. So we haven't heard word yet on whether Ford and Ram are going to take them out now because of the shortages. And you know, it's really interesting because you have electric cars that are going to need a lot of semiconductors as well as new cars, new trucks. Everything's getting more complex. As it gets more complex, we need more semiconductors. That's what's going on. So I just, real quick this morning, I want to throw it out there. Sorry if I was talking a little fast. Coffee, cleaning out the sidewalk, snowstorm, that kind of stuff got me fired up. But I really, like I said, I want to get information out to you guys quickly because this could really impact some people's buying decisions right now, today. For more cool stuff, check this video out over here. Website down below. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you down the road.